Ready for another very, very big, important week of Aztec basketball. That's the beauty and the beast. No time to savor victories or complain about defeats. We've got a very good, talented, motivated New Mexico team to come in on Wednesday, and we are looking forward to the challenge. We had our hands full at their place and know it will be more of the same on Wednesday, and we are appreciative of the home court. Look forward to 12,414 to help us as we go on our quest to get another home victory. Any questions?
Coach, DJ Gay was named the co-player of the week. You've talked at great length about him, but does it somewhat cease to amaze you how he can continue to do this every time? He doesn't turn the ball over. He hits the big shot. He hits the big free throws when you need him.
DJ has made me look good. I said before the curve that he was our most important player, and he's proven that he's been that and then some every stretch of the way. He's so reliable, never gets ruffled under the stress of the moment, and has comfort level now when he has that ball that he's going to make a decision that will be good for us. And he did that time and time again in the Vegas game against relentless pressure that he never wavered and never got flustered. And one huge play when we struggled to make a shot, in fact it was our last field goal, where he came off of a high ball screen and just, I don't know how he saw Rayhan on the other side of the floor and the traffic that he was in and skipped it across the court for a three-pointer for James. He does so many things for us, and we will need every bit of that as we move forward, but he's been terrific.
Did you kind of have to hold your breath when he seemed to roll his ankle?
I was concerned, obviously. I thought we were going to have to take him out for at least a second, but we had someone at the scores table, and he came kind of limping, running over, saying, "I'm okay." So we left him in. I'm sure you heard or saw he stepped on the official's foot as he was backpedaling to go back. I thought it was their obligation to get out of our way in those kinds of situations. But he didn't miss a second. Never sat down at halftime. He said he didn't want to have it stiffen up, so he just kept moving at halftime and showed the kind of competitive nature that we've seen for 4 years now.
In terms of getting him rest, is there something that you've seen in his conditioning that gives you confidence that that he can go 40? And if is there a formula when you can get him some rest here and there? Is it a feel thing?
He played 40 minutes in that game. He's the best conditioned athlete I've ever coached. He never ever appears to be tired, and that's on him. That's what he's done both during the season and the off season to make sure he gets there and then maintains it. He works harder when nobody's watching than anybody we've got on the little things. We had lifting for guys that didn't play a lot a week ago, Sunday or Monday, and DJ went over and did some lifting because he felt like he wanted to or needed to. He just is a tireless worker, and it's paying huge dividends. Yes, I'd like to rest him some, but we may or may not have the luxury to do that.
Is there any lingering effects from that ankle turn on Saturday at all?
I did not talk to him yesterday, haven't seen him yet today, so I don't know. I think he'll probably be a bit sore, based that he continued to play, but I would be shocked if he wasn't ready to play and would say I'm okay if you ask him in terms of how he's doing.
Coach, can you talk about where your team is at? Season has been pretty long up to this point now, and it's starting to be crunch time, tournaments looming. How are they holding up? What's their outlook coming in to the final stretch of home games?
when you win, you're always happy. Doesn't matter who you are. You're happy or you fake being happy. And our kids are happy. I think they truly are happy for one another. I'll use Jamal Faulkner or Jamal Franklin as an example. He came in, played 7 good minutes in the first half, didn't play a second in the second half, and he was excited, ready to go if needed, and very, very happy after the game. And that's the way you should be. The key is maintaining your health, and that's always a little bit of chance to stay healthy. We need to make sure that we do that. Tapley and Shelton didn't play. Hopefully we will have one or both of them back this week. And we've tried to do what we feel is in our best interest to manage wear and tear in practice to make sure we don't beat them up too badly and yet still have them ready and alert and conditioned through what we do in practice. And our kids are excited, obviously, at 25-1 and winning the way we are, close games, big bursts in other games. They feel good about themselves.
Can you comment on the play of Rayhan in the last couple of games?
James Rayhan, I thought he was sensational in the Vegas game in particular, but also he's been that way all season. He got 35 minutes against Vegas, and we needed every one of them. He made some huge baskets for us, but he also did a good job of chasing people defensively, boxing out, rebounding. We put the tape on going home, and sometimes comments are made by the announcers that are not 100% accurate. And they made a comment one time that Rayhan's is just a catch-shoot player, and they all laughed at him. And then about 2 minutes later, he got the ball swept and drove by 3 people and laid it in. And then he laughed at everybody else. James is a good player, and he knows it, and we know it.
Coach, can a team, does it learn how to play through adversity, or is every situation its own animal and you kind of deal with what happens in the moment?
I think everything's unique unto itself, and yet, if you have success, you feel good about yourself no matter who, where, or how you're thrust into that next stressful situation, that somehow you're going to find a way out of it and be able to get yourself out of it. Stress hits for all of us. And sometimes you say or do things that in the heat of the battle. And yet, if you saw our team on the floor for the full body of work in that 40-minute game against Vegas, you'd say they did a pretty good job of keeping their poise under all the stressful moments that went on during that game, from the tip to the final buzzer. I think they felt good about how they handled themselves in the crunch time.
Coach, what's the difference or the adjustment for yourself and your staff being in an elite position? You had this opportunity in Michigan before to know at this stage late in the season you're going to be in the tournament, as opposed to so many years when the Aztecs are fighting to build their resume to be in the tournament at this stage in the season. How does that adjust your approach as a coaching staff, and how do you manage the roster over the next couple, 3 weeks building toward the tournament?
You don't do a whole lot different. Each team's a little bit different. As I said earlier, we don't have the 3-hour practices that we did early in the season, and yet we practice sometimes maybe longer than the kids think we should practice. That being said, they've been wonderful in terms of how they've responded to all of that. The most important thing is making sure you don't get too far ahead of the curve. You don't start thinking about the tournament, start thinking about BYU, start thinking about something other than practice today and getting a little bit better in practice. And that's the tedious, difficult part that usually means the difference in whether you are successful. And they've done a wonderful job of that, all of them. And it's a testament to the team, to each and every one of them. They've been super on that. And we must maintain that. We must make sure that we continue that.
Is that tough for you too, Coach? I mean, every once in a while your mind strays. You brought up BYU, the tournament. Does your mind stray? Do you have to make sure that you stay focused as well?
I think it's no different from everybody. I mean, I'm thankful I have Mike May to kind of filter some of the requests and things that people want. But yeah, I'm no different. I've had people that are shirt-tail relatives, people that I haven't talked to in 10 years that all want tickets for the BYU game. And forget about New Mexico, they want the BYU tickets. And you know, you have to have the ability to kind of just move on and not get too caught up in all of that. And yet it's there. It's there for all of us.
Coach, you were out talking to the students who were waiting in line for tickets at the end of last week. Why do you do that? You don't need to do that anymore, right?
Yes, I do. We do. It's important. I know our students and fans know how much we appreciate them. Paying lip service is one thing. Getting out there is another, and really getting out there shouldn't be an issue. They're out there 2 hours, some of them 12 hours before the gates were open. So all of our players came and voiced their appreciation, and I followed that up with the thought of the day, which I'll paraphrase maybe. It's not what you do, it's how you do it. They could have moped around out there and kind of walked through the line like saying, okay, you talk to me, fans. But they were out high-fiving and smiling and shaking hands, and it was as if we had players running for office. They were appreciative and thankful to our fans. But I think that's a responsibility. You should want to do that. None of us were forced to do it, but we knew that we needed to do it. We appreciate our fans without question.
You'd obviously like to have something back come game time. What?
We've gotten that back tenfold. We haven't given them near as much as they've given us in terms of what they've brought to our team. They've paid us back tenfold and then some, with them being here early, being involved, getting everybody involved, and allowing this to be one of the best home courts in the United States. We know that, and we're thankful of that.
Coach, you talked about Brian Carwell a little bit. He was on the floor at the end of the game, and how he stepped up in that game and what he's brought to you guys this season.
Carwell's done a great job for us. He's our locker room lawyer. He's a guy that likes to talk, and everybody listens when he does talk. And we're thankful we've got him. We went back to back and ran a play that he screened and got Kawhi 2 straight jump shots just by setting a good hard screen. Stepped to the line and made 2 huge free throws down the stretch for us, and you know, he wants to play more. Everybody does, but he's done a great job of taking his minutes and making the most of them, and being the number 1 guy on that bench when he's not in the game. Everybody plays a different role, and you have to play it like you're the leading man when you're playing that role, and he's done a great job of that.